Hey VC, it's Chad. So I'm finally getting around to doing the vinyl tag for 2019. So let's get started here. Number one says best find of 2018, and that would be my copy of Beware from the Misfits. Shout out to other VC channels who deserve more viewers. I don't have very many viewers. Actually, how about Black Beans and Rice? Get into it with Jason Hook. There's a bunch of people out there. What holes are you looking to fill in your collection? I would say I wrote down the Ramones. Basically, I need their last 3 albums or 4 albums, like Acid Eaters, Adios Amigos, and I actually need Brain Drain as well. So those are the 3 I hope to pick up, whether this year or not. But a cheap album that's really good. I have picked out a soundtrack here, and it's the soundtrack for the movie Risky Business. You can pick this up for under $10, maybe $5. I've seen it. I used to have 3 or 4 copies, but this has one of my favorite Tangerine Dream songs on it, Love on a Real Train. There is Mannish Boy from Muddy Waters, which is amazing. And a bunch of Tangerine Dreams tracks. There's a Prince track. There's In the Air Tonight from Phil Collins. This is a classic soundtrack. The movie's like quintessential 80s as well. So we'll just forget about old time rock and roll from Bob Seger, but Tangerine Dream. Risky Business. Your favorite side project album? I didn't give it that much thought to say it's my favorite of all time, but it's one I do really love. It is Palehead, and this was released on Wax Trax Records out of Chicago, and it features Ian MacKaye from Minor Threat and Fugazi, along with like Al Jorgensen from Ministry. So I really think these are catchy songs, and I listen to this a lot. So they put out 2 singles, I think, and a 12-inch version of it, and there's a cassette or something, but really fun. A song from an artist or band that is uncharacteristic in their catalog. This one was the hardest one and the last thing I did. So I just went with, not to say that it's bad or it's just different, is We Will Fall on the debut album from the Stooges. One of my favorite records. So basically, the bass player Dave Alexander didn't really write any of the songs, and from what I read, We Will Fall, they kind of gave it to him to write the song, and Iggy kind of put it together, and it's basically a 10-minute jam and like a a spiritual like chanting and stuff. So to go from I Want to Be Your Dog, which is like a 3-minute raw in your face proto-punk song, to We Will Fall, which is just the 3rd and last song on the first side that's 10 minutes long. I love the song, but it's definitely a lot different than the other tracks on there. So we'll go with that. The last album you purchased. So on Amazon, I saw this was on sale for $12, which was ridiculously cheap. I have a copy, and it's, I don't know, it just was really noisy. It's on blue vinyl, so I ordered another one. Came from Amazon. it wasn't even the right album. I had to send it back. They sent it to me again, and I finally got it and cleaned it up. Sounds great. It's Forever Blue from Chris Isaak, and this one has the song Baby Did a Bad, Bad Thing, which is kind of popular. Really dig this album, but check it out. It should still be on sale on Amazon for like $12, I think $13 with tax. So if you have Prime, you can get it for like 13 bucks, and it's on blue vinyl, Forever Blue. A great album with a bad cover. Not necessarily, I mean, it's kind of bad, but I've grown to like it. It's I picked Sabotage from Black Sabbath. Not necessarily the cover concept, but this like crazy kimono and these high heel boots that Ozzy's wearing. And it's just like, you know, the reflections in the mirror, you know, what they're facing the wrong way. So Hole in the Sky, Symptom of the Universe, and The Writ are some of their best songs ever. So Sabotage. A couple other people might have shown that they didn't like. I think maybe Andrew said Paranoid or was a bad cover. So sure, you can pick any of those. A bad album with a cool cover. I picked this guy. It's called The Evidence. This is a late 70s disco record, but it's got this really cool naked chick on the cover with what appears to be like a lightsaber sword, and there's these crazy monkeys, and there's like spaceships flying around, and just a really great cover. But it's kind of bad disco electro, which I kind of like that stuff, but it's just bad. I don't listen to this at all, but the cover's great. A blues album. How about Moanin' in the Moonlight by Howlin' Wolf. This is one of those original Chess Masters series. These got a little bit pricey. I know they just reissued this record, so really great classic record, classic blues. Howlin' Wolf. An earworm song. Recently rewatched The Sopranos, and the final episode has this song, and it's Don't Stop Believin' from Journey. Historically important artist. I chose kind of like a double whammy here. The Velvet Underground, and also an artist as in Andy Warhol. But Velvet Underground, just weird stuff for the late 60s, very experimental. They influenced a ton of underground and indie and punk bands, so I chose them. An album you own because of your parents. I really honestly don't. I mean, my parents were a lot older, you know, when they had me, so our musical tastes were, you know, I don't really remember my parents being that into music. But I do remember a Elvis Christmas album. I'm actually looking for it still. I didn't see it anywhere this year, but I think it's just like a best of or something with a certain cover that we used to listen to when we would hang decorations. So let's say that one. I can listen to Elvis Christmas. So best dollar bin find. Actually, I couldn't find it in my collection right now, but I chose the soundtrack for Harder They Come. by Jimmy Cliff, and it has some like reggae from Desmond Decker and Toots and the Maytals. Really great movie as well, but the soundtrack's awesome. I found a copy in like at a thrift store in like 1997 for, it had to be either like a quarter or 50 cents. So I still have that copy. I love that soundtrack. So Harder They Come. Favorite double album? I chose The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails. This was just reissued. I guess it's 2 years ago that he remastered. He's still working on his catalog, but yeah, 2017 they reissued this. Sounds amazing. But Nine Inch Nails. An album you learned about from the VC in the last year. I completely forgot about that one, so I'll skip that one. A 10-inch record. I chose the Helicopters, Disappointment Blues. I have no idea if I showed this before, but I really like the track Long Gone Losers. Helicopters, Nicky Anderson from Entombed. He's in the band Lucifer now. Really great, prolific drummer and guitarist. Great rock and roll record. Check it out, the Helicopters. A 7-inch record. I chose my Rocky Erickson Bermuda single, which was released on Rhino Records in 1977. It came with this little typeset lyric sheet. I can't remember if this was their first single or if his first one was Mind, Mind, Mind. I think they both came out in 1977. I'm not sure which one came out first, but this one is great. Favorite album to fall asleep to? So, my bedroom, I don't have a stereo set up, so, and I don't really fall asleep to music. So I do watch TV, and I put the sleep timer on all the time, and I watch Adult Swim, and so I chose the soundtrack for Rick and Morty. Since I watch that show usually around midnight, I'm about falling asleep, so can hear the theme song or get Swifty or whatever. This is a really cool box set that came out. The soundtrack came out on like 2 LP in the fall, and then they were doing a deluxe box set. This one actually lights up. I don't remember if I even showed this before, but I'm sure you've seen it around. Came on this crazy green wax with a 7-inch, and then there is LEDs inside that make the cover light up, and then you can swap out the jacket for the LP. So really cool. So that's Rick and Morty. Last thing says, your favorite VC experience or an advice for people contemplating making videos. If you're watching this, I have low production value. I usually don't edit very much besides the beginning and the end. So I just would say just do it if you want. And if you don't want to, then don't do it. So I met like Andre last year, Linda Lake. We went record shopping. That was fun. Ran into some other people like Jeff Party and Sean Zlock one time, which was fun. And hope to meet some more VC people in the coming years, and hope to continue to make videos whenever I can. So that's about it. So thanks for watching, and hope you have a good 2019. Peace.